Steam Machine bundles leaked. Reservation flow appears. Data mines and store page leaks reveal 4 possible Steam Machine SKUs, looking like a tiered bundle structure, likely base, mid, high storage tiers with at least one Steam controller bundle. Separately, the Steam beta client picked up new Steam Machine UI text. Valve's quietly writing the storefront wiring. I read that wrong. Wiring the storefront for the reservation flow combined with last week's controller hardware story. This is the 2026 hardware launch finally materializing. Okay, so Jimmy, you put out a video about this, about the 4 things. What are the 4 things that you think that we're talking about here?
So just the 512 and 2 terabyte, and then the 512 and 2 terabyte with controller. That's what I was thinking.
I think so too. Yeah.
Right? Like, what else could it be?
Some people are speculating
with
like
Half-Life
like
3.
or frame.
Yeah.
Half-Life 3 could be it, right? Like, yeah, it
Why
could
not?
be that. Yeah, sure.
Make 2026 better.
we are desperately looking for anybody to make 2026
please.
better.
Please just make it better. I'm begging anybody.
Anybody out there listening to us, please. Yeah. But no, I'm with you, Jimmy. I think it's the controller, which I'm very excited about. And that'll be hopefully my third, right? We get the 512, we get the 2 terabyte. And then if you want the controller, you get that too. Maybe, at a bargain, maybe it's only $50 additional. That's probably a little too cope, right? Compared to the, what is it? $100? Yeah, there's no way.
Yeah.
Maybe.
But maybe there's a discount.
Maybe.
I wonder if it's going to, how packaging is going to go. Like, so when the Switch 2 came out, they weren't expecting so many people to buy the Mario Kart bundle. So they started like sliding them in, and they had to redo all their packaging because of it. So I wonder by having 4 SKUs like this, like logistically, if it's going to cause a nightmare for them, if they get more orders in one SKU that they weren't anticipating. So curious to see how they've thought through all that stuff.
Yeah, don't forget they're going to have to hold mine back specifically. They're like, wait, which one did he order? And
which one is Gary's?
Yeah.
Don't send it yet.
Yeah.
Well, I'm okay. So let's think about this for a second. I think most people who order the Steam Machine, they're probably going to want to get the Steam Machine and the controller bundled together. I think most people will also probably buy the most expensive one because they don't realize that you could just put an M.2 drive in there. So like if you are, trying to get to the front of the line, you probably don't want to order that most expensive one. You probably want to order the cheapest one without a controller so that there's less competition for you. But on the other hand, maybe Valve planned for that, knowing how people behave.
Right.
What? With the Steam Deck, it was, I think they said they had more of the $400 ones, expecting those to be the most popular, and then everyone went for the 1 terabyte.
Yeah.
Yeah. Everybody went for the 650 one.
Now that you mention it,
I didn't.
Now I would like them to tell me which one is most available, which one will get to me the soonest, so I can just buy whatever that is.
I mean, yeah, that's true. Although, whatever. So there's one question I would like to ask all of you guys is, what do you think about the possibility, since there's 4 SKUs and DRAM is so expensive and NAND is so expensive, what if there is like, this one comes with RAM with no disk, and this one comes with disk and no RAM. Maybe you have them and you would like to add them yourself.
I don't see that happening.
I don't either. But crazy things have happened.
That keeps
if you're
coming
somebody
up.
who's going to buy a Steam machine,
right?
Generally, you're somebody who if you're going to do that, you could just build your own.
Right.
Yeah, we've talked about it before, but I would love to see a bare bones unit, no RAM, no storage, and then we put that in ourselves. But I don't think it's going to be on their main storage page. I think it would be like an accessories page or, like your help guide or, like it wouldn't be a SKU that's easy to find, like the 4 major ones that we're looking at here. So I do want that. But I completely, like you were saying, Bill, like I recognize that most people are not. So.
Yeah, they also know it, right? Because Gabe already said Steam Deck, they bought the most expensive one. So that same logic is going to be present when they're making these decisions as well.
Sure.
So, but yeah, you kind of hope, like there's always that hope in the back for people that are like, man, I have actually, DDR5 SODIMM RAM sitting around that I could just use, which would benefit, that very small population of people.
So which one are you guys going to buy? I'm going to go first. I'm going to buy the one with less storage, and it's a bundle, so I get a second controller because I don't have a second controller yet. That's the one that I'm going to buy. What about you, Jimmy?
One with a controller. I don't know. I wish we could know which one's going to be more available, because whichever one's most available. Because I have 2 controllers, so like, if I don't get one with a controller, that's fine. But I would love a third controller, and I can't order one right now because they limit it. So my preferred version would be the 2 terabyte with the controller. That's what I want, because I don't have any extra SSDs right now, and I don't want to go buy one.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with that too. 2 terabyte with a controller. If they come with a controller, I'll probably just buy whatever is the most expensive one. I think that, unlike you guys, Carrie, Bill, Russ, like you guys all have PCs that you're happy to use as your HT PC or your home theater PC. I don't. Like, I have my desktop and I have other things that I could, but this is what I've really been waiting for. So I'm just gonna go all out, whatever's kind of the biggest package. I'm also a little worried about 512 these days, right? Forza Horizon 6 is 160 gigabytes. Is that right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So
it'll keep growing as they release cars.
This is true.
You know
This is true.
You know what they're going to do, Rich? They're going to get you. You're going to buy the 2 terabyte one, and then like 3 months later, they'll be like, "Here's the white model." And like, you're like, "Oh man, I really like how that one looks." Or it'll be like limited edition with like just fringe orange, and you're like, "Oh damn, that looks dope. Why did I get
that? Would get me
one?"
Because it's like Halloween colors, which I'm
you just you know what's going to happen. Like it's like destined to happen. Like after you get the thing, that's when they're like, "Hey, this one looks actually way cooler," and you're like, "Oh, yep, yes, it does." That was a good one. Good one, Valve. You got me.
That's Nintendo's playbook. Like they put out the Switch, and then they're like, "Okay, now here's the Animal Crossing Switch. Now there's a Mario Kart Switch. Now here's the whatever Switch." They do that all the time.
They got a little bit lame with Switches though.
What's that?
They've been lame with because only the dock and the Joy-Cons change, not the Switch itself. Like the main Switch unit is like.
Isn't the back of it usually a different color?
Like
I think my daughter has the Animal Crossing
Switch Lite ones.
The
Switch Lite ones do for sure, and for the main ones, what are they?
The Zelda one did.
Yeah, the Zelda, but it wasn't like. Was it like a bunch of stuff on it, or was it just kind of?
No, it's just like a subtle
just
paint kind of embossing thing on it. Yeah,
like so for. Go ahead, Russ. We can.
I was just going to say for my Steam machine. So it's only got 1 SSD slot, right? There's not 2. Like you can't expand it. There's a micro SD card slot, but it doesn't have 2. So I would probably go with a 2 terabyte just because I don't want to go through the pain of flashing new OS and putting all that on there. Like let them do that, So I think I would rather just pay that premium. The micro SD is another thing where it's like, I'm not sure if I'm going to use it. Like all the times that I've had like a Steam Deck or whatever, and I use a micro SD and I put a big one in there, 1 terabyte, 1.5. For some reason, those cards are just slower and more unreliable than I would expect from like the other cards that I use all the time, 128 gigs or whatever. So for me personally, I think I would just stick with that 2 terabyte internal storage and then maybe expand it if I need to in the future. But I'm not holding my breath for that. And the other thing for the colors too, I don't know if it's going to be that big of a deal if they come out with a limited edition and stuff, because we've got that plate that we can swap out for other stuff. So I feel like we've already got customization options with it, and I wouldn't really care about black or white or transparent or anything like that.
That actually surprises me because usually you're the guy that's like, I want to have a white system.
Yeah, in my living room, most like my PlayStation's black, my Xbox is black, so like black makes the most sense for me.
Yeah, I prefer for things in the living room, I prefer them to not draw attention to themselves. That's why I love the design of the Xbox Series X, and I despise the look of the PS5, any version. The PS5 is so stupid looking.
So I got the dark plates on mine. Yeah, so that's like it's like full blackout. I'll tell you, like I had the analog 3D, they sent it to me review unit, and I was like, I'm gonna get the white one, and so I gave away that review unit. It was black, and then I paid $300 or whatever to get the white one, and I hated. Like I'm like, why did I do that? Like it was the dumbest thing. Just threw my money away. But it's just because the living room setup, I agree, is like you don't want it to cause attention, and that's what my analog 3D does now.
Are you gonna buy another one that's black and replace it
They've got enough of my money at this point.
Dude, I ordered the red one. I like stayed up,
Mm.
because they released it at night. I ordered it. I 100% Super Mario World. I put it down for like a month. I came back and it just does an amber light. And so
Oh.
I email them and they're like,
Oh.
yeah, it's kind of in warranty. It's kind of not. Give us $150 and we'll fix it. And I was like,
Oh
well,
my gosh.
this is garbage now. I'm not going to just buy another one at that
Wow.
point
Oh
if
my
it broke
God,
that
that's
quickly.
awful.
Jeez. Yeah.
So I'm out. I'm out on any analog product.
That sucks because
And
they
now I
just
have
came
the
out
AYN
with
Thor and I like that.
yeah, they came out with memories today. Like they have save states now with the analog 3D.
Too bad.
Yeah.
Actually,
That
Jimmy
pissed
has
me
no
off.
memory. No
Yeah.
memory whatsoever.
Mine has pain.
Yeah.
There's something wrong with it.
All right. So last week we said, is Steam Machine coming first? We talked about whether or not we thought that Steam Machine would come before Steam Frame. I think that we argued back and forth about this, although I don't know if that was last week or the week before. I can't remember, but that's beside the point. Does this news change how you think about your answer? Rich, I'm going to start with you, man.
Yeah, one thing we didn't get to touch on too is that there was also a Steam beta client yesterday. So we're recording this May 15th. Yesterday, May 14th, there was Steam beta client that had the dedicated Steam Machine verified strings. It also had LED bar controls, also had HDMI CEC audio control, and localized some of this stuff into languages. So that seems like, and this is all based on information from, of course, Sadly It's Bradley, top tier Steam
course.
leaker at this point, right?
Yep.
Or Sadly It's Bra. I don't know if you guys saw.
I saw that.
You saw that?
Bruh. Linus Tech Tips. It was
Yeah,
on the
on the podcast, Luke called him Sadly It's Bra, and
Yeah.
it was just hilarious.
It's like Point Break edition.
Yeah.
Right.
Bruh.
So yeah, it seems like they're getting really, really close. We're about to talk about the Steam Frame. It seems like they're getting really, really close with the Steam Frame. I remember someone mentioning like a July.
Oh,
Did you guys see that?
Yeah, where did that come from? I saw that today, and I was like,
So-
was everyone saying July now?
I was
Yeah.
working today. I didn't see anything.
So
Did anybody
the-
find that?
This is July for the Steam Machine or Steam Frame?
I don't remember. I just remember
Okay.
a July
The
date.
FSR thing for July, yeah.
Oh yeah, that's
Yeah.
it.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
that's it. FSR4 for other stuff.
Yeah, so RDNA 3, the official drivers on mainline Radeon will be available in July. And there's been people that are speculating, and I think that, that sounds correct. Like, it sounds weird to me for like AMD to be like, here's Steam Machine. Also, FSR4 is available, and it's not going to be available on any of their other stuff. So I think that they want to have some alignment. Also, what I heard was that, like, but like things were blindsided. No one actually knew that this was happening. And when Jack basically was like, "Oh, it's coming out," and it was like, "What? what you say?"
Like PSSR 2, that was the same deal. It just
Yeah.
showed up.
Yeah, so that's kind of like where it is. So there's some semblance of AMD saying FSR4 coming for RDNA RX 7000 series GPUs is kind of hand in hand with other stuff that would feature that as well. So that's where that comes from. I see it as well. And then if you take a look, like if you read between the lines, they say that RDNA 2 is going to get it in 2027, which is in alignment with Xbox Helix. So like Xbox Helix, and like if you're going to be doing FSR4 on Xbox games, it would be beneficial if the previous generation could do it, because Xbox Series S and X are full RDNA 2 and would support it. So it's kind of like that. Is like, well, why are you choosing these specific dates? That's the only thing that I could kind of like read between the lines. Not that I know anything.
So just because they say, okay, FSR now supports, or FSR4 now supports RDNA 3 or RDNA 2,
Specifically,
that
RX
doesn't mean that
7000.
I'm sorry?
Specifically the RX 7000 series,
Right.
not the iGPUs. Yeah.
Gotcha. But that doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be as good as it would on
No.
RDNA. Yeah, exactly. So like hearing that they're going to bring it to RDNA 2, I'm like, and like, it's probably going to look like garbage, right?
No, it'll
No.
look great. It'll just perform like crap.
Yeah, but like performance, FSR 4 looks better to me at least, and like I've seen other people say this, than quality FSR 3. Like it's a big jump from 3 to 4. So like if you want the performance uplift and the resolution quality, you can use performance mode like on the Steam Deck, and you get best of both worlds, and it looks a lot better than FSR 3.
Okay. I almost never use FSR. I always just
Yeah.
run native.
Yeah, I
like
haven't been using it as much lately.
Yeah, FSR 2 and 3 is junk. XeSS is all I ever use. Ever. So FSR 4 is nice, and especially with like the newer stuff, like CashOS, like we had talked about it a bunch of times. CashOS has their own version of Proton 11 that they already flagged the stuff that was brought up before, where there was a guy that works on the Vulkan side, VKD3D, where he put all the work in. He's like, you can just enable int 8 to support FSR 4, but that's above my pay grade. So CashOS enabled it. You have Glorious Eggroll Proton GE has it enabled, and then you can just do a global config where you're not doing all the nonsense Optiscaler stuff. You literally just put it in one config file, and then that's it. It's on for everything everything that supports FSR 3.1.
Yeah, and if you have GE34, you can do FSR upgrade launch command, and then that enables it for specific games.
Exactly, yeah. So you can also, there's a system-wide conf file, so you don't have to do it per game and don't have to go to the command. Yeah, so I have that on my Win Mini right now on CashOS with CashOS OS Proton 11, but you can feel the performance hit. But I also use the 4.1 DLL.
You seem like the right guy to ask. So if you use that on SteamOS because it's not immutable, would it wipe it if you got a software, like a firmware update?
So only if you put it in the spot where it'll bulldoze. If you don't, then you're kind of okay.
It's like on your desktop or whatever.
Yeah, so like we're places where you can save files, you'll be fine as long as you point it there and you can have it be used.
Okay.
Yeah, you're fine. But it's really I don't see Valve enabling it for the Steam Deck specifically, especially because of AMD saying 2027. But that's just me. It's like I feel like also the Steam Deck can use it, especially if you use like FSR 4 and not 4.1. 4.1 is better, but it does have a bigger performance hit versus just 4.
Yeah.
And most people use the 4.0 DLL file.
It's so good in Resident Evil Requiem. If you use performance 4, regular 4, it totally cleans that game up. It's like this close to on par with Switch 2 at that point.
Nice. I was playing Pragmata last night.
Is that how you say it?
That's how they say it in the game.
Okay.
I'm still saying
say the word Pragmata. I always said Pragmata, but then I realized that I was wrong. Yeah, I know, because they're being pragmatic or something. I don't know. I'm this close to the end and my game crashed. But the reason I bring it up is because I was using FSR. I think that game has like FSR 3 built in, so I was I had that turned on, and what's her touch's hair? I can't remember her name.
Diana.
What's her Diana? Thank you. Her hair was like,
let's call her what's her touch.
Freaking out. It was like flying all over the place, and I was like, I wasn't sure if that's because it didn't happen when I was on Windows, but then when I went back to Linux, I started seeing that, and I don't know what the reason is. Like, is there a reason that suddenly the hair looks wild on Linux, but on Windows it looked pretty good?
That might just be the RE engine, because there's like tons of memes about Resident Evil 7, like Ethan's wife Mia. Every time you encounter her hair is like a different object that can move independently, and it's like in front of her face. It's like flying all around. Inside a house, it looks like there's like a windstorm going on. So it might just be the RE engine's hair tech going crazy, because it's pretty funny in Resident Evil 7 if you've ever seen it.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's pretty funky for me too, but on Pragmata, but I do have an older GPU than you have, Bill, so maybe that's why. But the hair can get pretty funky for me too on Windows, so I don't know.
Okay, weird. All right, so you guys tell us which Steam machine thing that you're going to be buying? Are you getting the bundle? And also, do you think that that's coming before the Steam Frame? But speaking of Steam Frame, that's going to be what we're going to talk about next.